Ravi lived in a small, quiet town on Earth, far from loud cities and bright markets. His world was made of simple routines, waking up early, opening the windows of his small workshop and spending hours repairing old machines. The workshop was full of metal parts, gears, loose wires, tools, and machines that others had thrown away as useless. Ravi was not famous. He was not a hero. He did not have high education or strong connections. To most people, he was just an ordinary man with a calm smile and quiet eyes. Yet he had one thing many did not have: patience. Ravi could sit for hours trying to understand how one broken part fit another. He did not mind getting dirty from machine grease. He did not rush. He took life slowly. People from the town came to him whenever something broke. A fan that no longer turned, a radio making strange sounds, a bicycle chain that slipped. Ravi repaired everything. Sometimes he did not even charge money. When others asked him why, he simply said, "If something can be fixed, I should fix it." He did not need big rewards. Helping was enough. The nights in his town were always quiet. Stars were bright because there were few lights to hide them. Ravi often spent evenings sitting outside, looking up at the sky. He always wondered what existed beyond those faraway dots of light. He had read stories about galaxies, alien civilizations, and starships, but those were just stories. He believed Earth was too small and humans too simple to be noticed by the universe. But the universe was far more surprising than he knew. One night, the sky was unusually bright. A meteor shower crossed the heavens like silver rain. People came outside to watch, talking excitedly and recording with their phones. Ravi watched too, amazed at the beauty. But then, something strange happened. One of the lights did not fall like the others. It changed direction. It moved with purpose. Then suddenly it grew brighter, almost blinding, and shot downward straight toward the forest behind Ravi's workshop. There was a loud boom, followed by a shock wave that shook the ground. Birds flew away in fear. Dogs started barking. People panicked, but Ravi did not run away. Something inside him whispered that he needed to see what had fallen. He grabbed his small flashlight and hurried toward the forest. The night air smelled of smoke and burned earth. Trees glowed faintly from heat. Ravi pushed past bushes and branches until he reached the clearing. There, half buried in the ground, was not a rock. It was a pod, silver, smooth and glowing softly with blue lines as if alive. Ravi stepped closer cautiously. The pod hissed, releasing steam. A panel slid open slowly. He held his breath. Inside was a girl. She looked around his age, perhaps 18 or 19. But she was not human. Her skin had soft glowing patterns like constellations, and her eyes were deep violet shining like galaxies. She was breathing, but weak. Ravi had no idea what to do, but he could see she needed help. He gently reached out. Her voice was soft, tired, but clear. "Is this Earth?" Ravi nodded slowly. The girl closed her eyes for a moment, relieved. "Good, the emergency coordinates worked." She tried to stand but collapsed. Ravi quickly supported her. "Easy," he said softly. "You're injured. Come with me." He took her to his workshop and laid her on a small bed he kept in the back room. She watched him with confusion. Earth clothing, human surroundings, simple tools. Everything was unfamiliar to her. After a long, silent moment, she spoke again. "My name is Anera. I am a navigator from the Celestial Concord." Ravi had no idea what that meant, but he listened. "My ship malfunctioned," she continued. "The stars bent incorrectly in the jump. I had to eject in a rescue pod. The pod is damaged. I cannot return without repairing it." Ravi did not panic. He did not scream. He did not run. He simply asked, "Can I help you fix it?" Anera stared at him. Her eyes widened slightly. "You are not afraid of me?" Ravi shook his head. "You're injured. That is more important." Anera had traveled across galaxies. She had met powerful leaders, wealthy merchants, brilliant scientists, but no one had ever spoken to her with such simple kindness. She nodded slowly. "Yes." "Help me?" Ravi examined the pod the next morning. Much of its outer frame was cracked and the internal components were unfamiliar. But some pieces, circuits, metals, connectors, felt similar to Earth technology in shape. Even if advanced, Anera sat beside him, weak but watching him closely. "You understand machinery," she said softly. "Not all of this," Ravi replied honestly, "but machines follow logic. If I look long enough, the machine will explain itself to me." Anera said nothing at first, but she was astonished. In her world, technology was advanced beyond imagination. Repairs were done by automated systems and trained engineers. But this human with no advanced tools was trying to understand it piece by piece, slowly, patiently. Ravi worked for hours. He drew sketches. He compared parts. He tested connections. He thought deeply before making any change. Anera saw how careful he was, how gentle, how dedicated. She had traveled through star systems, seen cities floating in nebula clouds, walked on planets with golden oceans, yet she had never seen someone work this patiently. "You are different from what our records say about humans," she said, quietly. Ravi looked up. "What do your records say?" "That humans are impatient, emotional, always rushing, always fighting." Ravi smiled a little. "Humans can be many things, some bad, some good, but most are just trying to live peacefully." Anera looked at him with thoughtful eyes. For the first time since arriving, she felt calm. Days passed. Ravi repaired the module piece by piece. Anera slowly regained her strength. During this time, they spoke often. Anera told him about the Celestial Concord, a peaceful alliance of many planets working together. She described starships the size of mountains, cities built on giant floating platforms, and schools where children learned to navigate stars instead of maps. Ravi listened with wide eyes, fascinated. Anera, in turn, learned about Earth. Ravi told her about simple joys, morning tea, warm sunlight, laughter of children in the street, quiet evenings under the sky. Anera realized something surprising. Her universe was enormous and full of wonders, but it often lacked peace. Earth, simple and small, felt warm, and Ravi, ordinary and humble, felt safe. One evening they sat outside, watching another clear starry sky. Anera spoke softly. "I have seen galaxies. I have walked among stars. But I never stopped. I never rested. Everything in my life was mission after mission." Ravi listened quietly. "But here," she continued, "everything is slow, soft, gentle." She looked at him. "You are gentle." Ravi did not know what to say. He simply smiled a small, shy smile. To the universe, he was ordinary. But to Anera, someone who had seen everything, Ravi was something new, something rare, something important. She had traveled across countless worlds and met thousands of faces, yet she had never met someone like him. In his simplicity, she found a universe she had never known before, and so, the journey of an ordinary human and a star traveler began, quietly, without fanfare, in a small town where the stars shone brighter than anywhere else. But the universe had already taken notice. Soon, others would come. Days passed quietly in the small town, but peace never lasts forever. Anera's distress signal, sent during her emergency landing, had finally reached her people, the Celestial Concord. Somewhere in the stars, a rescue ship was now on its way, but the signal had not only reached her allies, it had also been intercepted by the Dominion clusters, a powerful, strict empire known for controlling weaker civilizations. They believed humans should stay isolated, unaware of the larger universe. To them, humans were a species of potential, and potential was dangerous. And one simple human helping a star-traveling navigator was not something the Dominion would allow. The first sign, Ravi didn't know any of this yet. He only knew the pod was almost repaired. He was proud and a little sad. He knew that when Anera left, she would fly far beyond anything Earth could ever reach. He did not say it, but he felt it. Anera felt it too. They spent their mornings working on the pod and their evenings outside watching the sky. But one evening, the stars flickered strangely, as if something large moved through space above the atmosphere. Anera's eyes sharpened at once. "That is not my fleet." Before Ravi could ask, a deep rumbling sound echoed overhead. The ground vibrated. Leaves shook. Clouds tore apart as a dark triangular ship descended slowly, silently, like a shadow spreading over the land. It was the Dominion. Ravi stepped back. The ship opened underneath, and several tall, armored figures floated down. Their armor was sharp and metallic, glowing with red lines. Their eyes were cold. They scanned the area like hunters. One spoke with a firm, mechanical voice. "Target located. Unknown human present. Human is irrelevant." Anera moved quickly, stepping between Ravi and the soldiers. You have no authority here. This is conquered rescue territory. The lead soldier laughed in a dry, emotionless sound. You abandon your training, your duty to value a primitive life form? You are a navigator. Your purpose is to serve the stars, not attached to dirt walkers. Ravi stayed silent, but his hands clenched. He had no weapon. He had no armor. He only had his presence, calm, steady, grounded. Anera stood firm. He is not primitive, he is kind. He saved me. Irrelevant, the soldier replied coldly. We will remove him. Humans who interact with outsiders must be contained. Ravi stepped forward. No fear in his eyes, or only resolve. You will not take me, and you will not harm her. The soldiers paused. They did not expect resistance from a simple human. The leader tilted its head. You speak as though you matter. Anera's voice sharpened like steel. He matters to me. The soldiers did not understand emotion. They understood orders, and the order was to secure the human. They moved forward. The stand Ravi quickly grabbed a metal rod from the workshop. It was not a weapon, but it was something. He stepped in front of Anera. His heart was steady. He was scared, yes, but courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting despite fear. The Dominion soldiers laughed again, a cold, mechanical mockery. You defend her, yet you are weak. Ravi did not argue. He knew he was weaker physically. He knew their armor was stronger than any tool he had. But he also knew something they did not. He refused to back down, and sometimes that alone is enough. Anera moved beside him. She raised her hand, activating a small device. A shimmering energy shield formed around them. The Dominion soldiers paused. Anera spoke. You will not touch him. The leader raised a hand, signaling the others to stop. Then you force consequence. He pressed a command on his wrist plate. The signal to the stars in the sky above. A dark portal shimmered open. Dominion reinforcements were coming. Anera's voice lowered, serious and urgent. Ravi, you must not stay here. You need to hide. Ravi shook his head. No, I will not leave you. She looked at him with a mix of frustration and deep, almost painful warmth. You are one human. They are an empire. And you are one girl, Ravi replied softly. But you crossed galaxies. One can be enough. Anera felt something tighten in her chest, something she had never experienced in all her travels across stars. She realized that bravery did not only belong to soldiers or warriors. Sometimes it lived in quiet workshops, in gentle hands, in simple hearts, but they still needed help. She pressed a different button on her device. A distress beacon of the conquered. A glowing pattern shot into the sky, disappearing into space. The Dominion soldiers noticed instantly. You called for them. Foolish. Anera spoke clearly. I do not fear you. The rescue arrives, minutes felt long. The Dominion soldiers slowly spread into formation, surrounding them. Ravi's grip on the metal rod tightened. He knew he could not win, but he would not step back. Then, the air vibrated. A bright tear opened in the sky. A ship descended, shining like silver sunlight. Elegant and curved, glowing with blue energy lines. The celestial conquered had arrived. A wave of relief washed across Anera's face. From the conquered ship stepped figures with soft white armor and gentle glowing visors. They were not soldiers of war. They were protectors, explorers, diplomats. Their leader spoke kindly. Navigator Anera, we have come to return you home. The Dominion soldiers shifted stance. The conquered leader turned toward them, voice still calm. There is no need for conflict. The human is under Concord protection, the Dominion commander hissed. Humans are not recognized as allies. They are insignificant. The conquered leader's calm voice did not change. He saved our navigator. That is recognition enough. The Dominion soldiers stiffened. Their orders did not include warfare against the conquered. That would start a galactic conflict. So they backed away slowly. But before leaving, the Dominion commander looked at Ravi. Human, the universe is far larger than you understand. Do not step beyond your world. You will not survive. Ravi did not reply. He simply met the commander's stare with steady eyes. The Dominion ship rose back into the sky and vanished. The choice. The Concorde ship landed. Anera stepped closer to Ravi. The wind from the engines blew gently through her hair. For a moment, everything was silent. The Concord leader spoke gently. "Navigator, your journey was dangerous. It is time to return." Anera looked at Ravi. He looked back. There were no dramatic words, no confessions, no promises. Only understanding. Ravi spoke first quietly. "You have your world among the stars. You should go home." Anera's voice was soft but firm. "I do. But I also have something here." Ravi's chest tightened, but he nodded. "You don't need to choose now." Anera took a slow breath. "No, I do." She turned to the Concord leader. "I request permission for the human to accompany us." The Concord leader raised an eyebrow. This was rare, extremely rare. But he had seen the scene unfold. He had seen the courage of the human, and he had seen the determination in Anera's eyes. After a moment of silence, he nodded. "Permission granted," Ravi blinked. He had not expected this. Not even in his wildest dreams. Anera held out her hand. "Come with me." Ravi looked at his workshop, the tools, the machines, his entire simple life. Then he looked at Anera, the girl who fell from the stars and found a home in his quiet world. He took her hand. The ramp of the ship opened. They stepped inside together. The doors closed. The engines glowed, and Earth became smaller and smaller beneath them, but inside the ship, nothing felt foreign. As long as they were together, they were home. The stars awaited. The ship that carried Ravi and Anera through space was called the Starwind Voyager. It was smooth, silver, and quiet, moving like a comet across the darkness. From its large viewing windows, Ravi saw the Earth grow smaller until it was only a tiny blue dot in a sea of black. He stood silently, watching the place he had lived his whole life shrink away. He expected to feel fear or sadness or loneliness, but instead he felt something new, peace, because Anera was beside him. Anera watched him carefully as if she could read every thought on his face. "Are you afraid?" she asked softly. Ravi shook his head. "No, I am ready." Anera smiled, a gentle and quiet smile, the kind that holds relief. "You are stronger than most people I have met," she said. Ravi did not think of himself as strong. He had no armor, no training, no great achievements, but perhaps strength had always been something simple, the courage to stay kind in a hard universe. The Concord. When the Starwind Voyager arrived at the celestial Concord, Ravi could hardly speak. In front of him stretched a massive space city, a ring of silver light surrounding a star, floating like a jewel in the endless night. Thousands of ships moved in quiet, graceful patterns. Buildings shone like crystal towers. Walkways floated in mid-air. Gardens grew inside glowing domes. Everything felt calm, balanced, peaceful. The Concorde was not built for war. It was built for harmony. Anera led him through the grand halls, where people of many shapes and origins walked together. Some had shimmering wings. Others had skin like smooth stone. Some had glowing patterns like Anera, and yet nobody stared at Ravi. Nobody acted surprised. They only greeted him kindly with curiosity and respect. To them, an ordinary human was not strange, only new. The Concord Council requested to meet him. They gathered in a circular room where soft lights floated in the air like fireflies. The first speaker of the Concord, an elder with gentle silver eyes, addressed him. "Human named Ravi, you saved one of our navigators. We honor that." Ravi bowed slightly, unsure of what to say. "I only did what anyone should do." The council looked at each other. Anera spoke next, her voice steady but emotional. "No. Many would have left me. Many would have run in fear. Many would have seen me as strange or dangerous. He saw me as another living being. That is rare. That is valuable." The first speaker nodded slowly. "Then humanity is more than we believed." And with those words, a quiet shift began. A small idea, yet powerful. Humans could be something more in the universe. Life in the stars. Ravi stayed aboard the Concord, learning day by day. He was given living quarters near Anera's. He joined training sessions where he learned about interstellar cultures, languages, and navigation. He did not learn quickly, but he learned carefully. Where others tried to master everything at once, Ravi took his time. He watched. He listened. He understood before acting. And soon others noticed something. Ravi could fix things no one else could. The Concorde technicians worked with advanced machines so advanced they repaired themselves. But when something broke in a way the machines did not understand, they struggled. Ravi did not. He approached every problem with hands, tools, thought, and patience. And slowly the Concorde ships began calling him, "Bring the human," the one who listens to machines. Ravi laughed at the nickname, but he accepted every request. He never asked for payment or rank. He only wanted to help. And as he helped, the ships began to feel alive again. Older machines purred like they were new. Navigation arrays responded more smoothly. Engines hummed with steady warmth. Even the Concorde Council noticed. This human repairs not just machines. He repairs balance. Anera watched him from a distance sometimes. She saw how he smiled at others, how he worked quietly without pride, how he remained the same gentle person he had always been. And she felt something deep inside her heart. Something she had never understood in all her travels. A feeling that did not need words. The return of the Dominion, but peace, like always, was fragile. The Dominion clusters had not forgotten the human who defied them, the human who changed a navigator's heart. One day, during a council gathering, a massive alarm echoed through the Concorde halls. Red lights flashed. The sky outside the viewing windows darkened. Dominion flagship had entered Concorde territory. The same commander who once tried to capture Ravi appeared on the communication screen. His voice was sharp and cold. "We issue a demand. Hand over the human." The hall went silent. The first speaker responded calmly. "He is under Concorde care. We protect all who come in peace." The commander replied, "Humans must not rise. Their potential is dangerous. You have seen how one human has already influenced your systems and your navigator. If allowed to continue, they may disrupt the balance of the stars." A tremor passed through the council. Anera stepped forward, eyes blazing. "He influenced us because he taught us kindness. And if kindness is dangerous, then perhaps the galaxy needs danger." The Dominion commander stared at her. "Then you have chosen your side." The signal closed. Outside, the Dominion ships began to prepare. Inside, the Concorde Council prepared defense shields, but Ravi stepped forward, voice quiet but clear. "No one needs to fight." Everyone turned toward him. Ravi continued, "If they fear humans because of the harm we could cause, then I will show them the good we can bring." Anera grabbed his hand, fear flickering in her eyes. "You don't need to face them." Ravi squeezed her hand gently. "I know, but I choose to, and sometimes choice is the strongest power in the universe." The meeting, Ravi went alone to the docking platform. The Dominion commander awaited him. Ravi stood with no weapon, no armor, no protection. The commander looked down at him. "Why do you step forward alone, human?" Ravi replied simply, "Because fear grows when we run from each other. But understanding grows when we stand face to face." The commander was silent. Ravi continued, "You think humans are dangerous because we can change things. You are correct. We can." Ravi looked back toward the Concorde, toward Anera. But change is not always destruction. Sometimes change is healing. Sometimes change is hope. The commander stared at him, but there was no mockery now. Only thought. Only reflection. After a long, quiet moment, the commander spoke. "Then show us. Show the galaxy what your kind can become." It was not surrender. It was not alliance. It was respect. The Dominion ships turned and left. Conflict was avoided, not by force, but by courage, honesty, and peace. The human and the navigator later. Back inside the Concorde gardens, Anera and Ravi stood together beneath a dome of glowing trees. Anera spoke softly. "You changed them." "Without fighting?" "Without anger," Ravi smiled. "No, we changed them. You believed in me." Anera stepped closer. "All my life I traveled the universe searching for meaning. I saw 1,000 worlds, met thousands of voices, learned countless maps and stars." She looked into Ravi's gentle, steady eyes. "But the universe only felt whole when I met you." Ravi's voice was warm. "And I thought my world was small, but you showed me its place among stars." They stood side by side, watching galaxies drift like rivers of light. No dramatic words, no need for promises. They simply belonged. A human, ordinary but gentle. A navigator, brilliant but searching. Together, they were complete, and though the universe was endless, to her he was the whole universe, and to him she was the stars that guided him forward.